These children, they just have such a desire to learn, and I just see it makes such a difference, see such a light in their life. Back when we were first married, we just had always talked about adopting children that, from another country that needed to be adopted. And that didn't happen because we had so many of our own children and no money, and it just kind of went by the wayside. We didn't really forget about it, it just wasn't a possibility. When we realized that we weren't going to be having any more children, we started to talk about it again. And from there, the pieces definitely started to come together. I always tell people this. When I went to adopt the girls, so I was back and forth between the city of Kampala and the Subi project where the girls were. Things weren't going well, and we had to stay much longer than we thought. And I really enjoyed just living there and becoming a part of the life there and getting to know the people. I've learned over the years of being there that there's just millions and millions and millions of little villages, and they're all pretty much the same, and everybody's in pretty much the same need. It's very green, which is very pretty, but it's hard to see the beauty in the midst of the poverty. So I just always have crafts with me. I always have something that I have to be doing, and different ones, starting with the teachers, but gradually filtering down to the kids. They wanted to know what I was doing, and they wanted to learn. It was just a natural thing to do, was to teach them something that I knew. I very first started with the sale of the purses. I was in the city and I saw a handmade knitted purse, knitted out of fabric, that was for sale, and I thought it was really neat. I loved it. I took a picture, and I got the idea to buy some scrap fabric, teach this one girl how to make a purse. And when I went home, my oldest daughter was with me when we went to do something. I had the purse, and she loved it. So I told her she could have it. And she said she didn't want to take it, she wanted to pay me for it. She wanted me to give the money to the girl, and what a great idea that was. I should have more kids make them. So that's kind of where the vision began without me realizing it. Children were making the purses, but they weren't taking the money. The money was going back into their families. Each person was given the money to use as a reinvestment. So one family used it to buy pigs, and they raised the pigs, and then they sold the pigs, and then they got more money from that. Another one bought chickens, and they raise them, and they get eggs, and they sell the eggs. And so we tried to do that with each different family, and that was, to me, that was exciting because they were learning economics. So these are the products, or some of the products, that I sell to raise money to be able to go back. It also goes back to them to reinvest in the new things we're going to do, or some of the other things I talked about, like buying a sewing machine, paying for sewing classes with a local woman, etc. This is a little doll dress for an American Girl doll, but it's in African style. This last trip I went on, the kids made these little coasters, and these are made with bottle caps. I thought this was pretty cool. Over here I have a baby sling. That's a new big up-and-coming thing with the new generation of moms. It would be extremely helpful to have more help, both on this end in the States and then over there. So it would be helpful to have people who could go who have talent, because right now I do the bulk of it and I'm getting tired. The reason why we want to move there is because a lot of people are asking me to do what I've been doing at the Subi project, and I can't do that unless I'm there for a long stretch of time where I can really, invest in these different groups. I see so many ways that I just had to trust God. Everything just seems to be moving forward. And that isn't to say there aren't things that happen that feel like they're blocks in the way, but as we press forward, they move out of the way, and things start to fall together. So that, to me, that's very exciting.